The human was unarmed at the banquet, which was the nobles' first mistake. Their second was believing empty hands meant an empty plan. Captain Mara Voss stood beneath the blue chandeliers of House Valorian, wearing only a black diplomatic coat. No armor, no escort, no fear around her. Alien lords and ladies glittered behind jeweled masks, their horns, feathers, and silver skin turning the hall into a beautiful cage at the far end. Duke Arnth lifted his cup and smiled like execution had begun. This banquet was supposed to end 3 centuries of border war. One treaty, one table, one human representative among conquerors. But everyone knew the truth. Peace was the curtain. Humiliation was the performance. Mara had been invited under noble hospitality. No weapons, no bodyguards, no fleet signals. House Valorian wanted the galaxy to watch humanity kneel. Then the doors locked from the outside, and every servant froze. Duke Arnth tapped a silver claw against his cup. Captain Voss, your species is energetic, stubborn, useful in emergencies, but peace requires order tonight. You will kneel before the high houses, surrender all claims beyond the Soul Corridor, and accept Valorian protection. Refuse, and the treaty dies. Refuse, and Earth dies embarrassed. 1,000 jeweled eyes turned to Mara, waiting for fear, rage, some loud human mistake, but Mara only looked at the locked doors, then at the musicians, then at the wine fountain and said, "You locked the room with me inside it." The laughter weakened. Arnth leaned forward. "Yes, human." "That is how traps work," Mara nodded once. "That was your first tactical error." Somewhere above the ballroom, thunder rolled. Though the sky outside was clear, the nobles shifted. Because instinct is older than pride, and instinct knew prey did not sound like that. Arnth raised 2 fingers, and 12 guards stepped from the pillars. Their curved blades classified as art instead of weapons, a loophole for murder in noble rooms. Mara did not move, did not reach for anything, did not raise her voice. "You searched me 3 times?" she said. "You scanned my bones, teeth, blood, breath, and recent memories. You checked for toxins, explosives, nanites, implants, signal emitters, and gravity beads. Excellent work." The guard captain looked proud. Until Mara added, "But you never searched the room." The chandeliers flickered. The first chandelier dropped, not onto the nobles, not onto the guards, but between them. A crash of crystal and light that split their formation. The guards stumbled back alive, startled, humiliated, and Mara finally moved. Not like a charging warrior, but like someone closing a door. She stepped aside from a blade, guided the attacker's wrist into a table edge, and let momentum fold him harmlessly into the soup course. No one had told them humans studied embarrassment as a combat art. Arnth rose. "Impossible. No device passed our shield." No human tool entered this palace. Mara picked up a bread knife, then set it down. "I know," she said. "That is why I borrowed yours." The musicians played faster, not from courage, but because every instrument had been tuned by Valorian's staff. Every string vibrated at the frequency Mara requested when she praised the acoustics. Mirrors rotated with each note, focusing chandelier heat onto wax seals beneath the tiles. Those seals softened, spring locks released. And old service panels opened. The trap had waited 200 years. Humanity had simply read the maintenance records. A servant hatch burst open near the desert wall. Mara caught the silver tray, spun it once, and used it as a shield against 3 darts from a masked countess's sleeve. The darts rang against the tray, harmless and bright. The countess stared at her failed surprise. Mara gave her a sympathetic look. Good mechanism, bad angle. Now the nobles understood enough to panic. Arnth shouted for the outer guard, but the doors did not open. Outside, his soldiers were trapped in a corridor filled with fire foam, activated when Mara redirected steam from kitchen ovens into incense vents. Earth diplomats read building codes like priests read prophecy. Inside the hall, noble houses turned on each other. Lord Kesh accused Lady Sira. Lady Sira accused the musicians. The musicians accused low wages. And through the collapse walked Mara Voss, untouched, unhurried, carrying nothing more dangerous than patience. That was when Arnth revealed his final mistake. He pulled a command crystal from beneath his collar and spoke one word: execute, above the planet. 12 Valorian warships armed orbital lances and aimed at the human embassy. For the first time that night, Mara stopped smiling. Every screen in the hall lit at once, showing Admiral Jun Park. "Commander of the Human Relief Fleet, Duke Arnth," he said. "Your ships have targeted a protected diplomatic district under treaty law. That is aggression. Under human law, that is a confession." Aaron's throat plates flared. "Impossible. Our sensors saw no fleet." Mara looked toward the windows. "You saw what we wanted smug people to see. The stars bent, shimmered, and filled with human ships. Rescue carriers, mining tugs, hospital vessels, old battleships with new teeth, freighters rebuilt around rail cannons. Ugly, practical, loyal, and terrifyingly present." The banquet went silent again. But this time, silence belonged to humanity. Admiral Park continued, "All weapons will power down. All hostages will be released, and all charges will be confessed before the Galactic Witness Network, which is receiving this banquet live, every mask turned toward every other mask." Mara tapped the Duke's cup. It chimed once. "Arnth, you invited one unarmed human because you wanted proof that we could be controlled. But you forgot the first lesson of our species. We do not need claws to be dangerous. We survived with empty hands, sharp minds, and friends close enough to answer when doors lock." Arnth looked at his guards, nobles, screens, an impossible fleet, and found no one willing to fall for his pride. Slowly, he lowered the crystal. The warships powered down, the doors opened. Captain Mara Voss walked out, still unarmed, still alive, carrying a signed confession that ended 3 centuries of blackmail in one night. Behind her, the banquet hall remained broken and silent, full of predators remembering the moment they learned the difference between helpless and human. By morning, the treaty was rewritten. The high houses surrendered war rights. The border colonies were recognized as free, and every diplomatic academy added one warning: never confuse human restraint with weakness. Never mistake courtesy for surrender. And above all, never lock yourself in a room with an unarmed human who has checked the exits